is there any chance LaFleur is just so pissed about 10, 7, and 13 points that he just tries to drop a nuke on the Giants this week?
No. He would have, but he had to run to get his 8th haircut of the month. So yeah, he was a little preoccupied with his grooming.
Oh my God, that's epic. The man always has a fresh cut. You got to give him that. That's for sure. That's hilarious. That was my only angle for love here, but then I looked into it. It's like Tucker Kraft's averaging like 4 yards per route run against man. It's like that was their guy. It's
right.
You take that guy out of this offense. It's tough.
That's why it's got to be Watson. I mean, it's elementary. It's got to be Watson.
What?
Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome. What is going on? Welcome to the Week 11 edition of Matchup Points here at fantasypoints.com. I'm John Hansen. We got our guys, Graham Barfield and Brett Whitefield, ready to rock and roll. We don't want to waste a minute asking them how they're doing. If they were not doing well, they'd lie and say they were. The Jets at the New England Patriots kicking off week number 11. That's kind of like my favorite line. I kind of like that. It's kind of funny. But guys, well, Graham, I'll go to you. Breece Hall, I'm already in on the under. It is November. But, any thoughts here on the Jets? I guess not, right? Because we don't know exactly who's starting. They haven't made that announcement, and they don't have really anything else but Breece Hall. So I would imagine with the toughest matchup in the league, he's doing well in those zone runs, and that's New England's jam. They're having like 3 yards a carry here. Any hope for the Jets from you, Graham?
I have no idea how they move the ball in this spot. And it's, we all watched that game last week. Fields had 30 net effective passing yards last week. He threw it 11 times. Garrett Wilson is not going to play, obviously. They might just sit him for the rest of the year with this knee injury. Lost season for him.
Yeah.
I have no idea how they're going to move the ball. I mean, the Patriots have been the second or third best, maybe even the best run defense in the league. Seattle and Cleveland have been right there with them. Obviously, they can just sit and just stack the box against Breece and just say, hey, Justin Fields, come and beat us. Patriots defense is the best defensive play of the week. I really don't have much on the Jets, to be honest. I mean, maybe Mason Taylor. I guess the Patriots have been a little susceptible against tight ends, but I don't even know if I can get there, John. I don't trust Taylor with Fields at all.
No, and I think they play a little more man than most. So they're probably top 12. They're probably right at round 12. Brett, how about this, man? I don't think I've ever, and it's only 5 weeks or whatever, I don't think I've ever seen this level of volatility from a quarterback, and I'm in year 32. I believe, doing this. So it's weeks 3 and 4. You're like, oh, look, 226 passing, touchdown, 283 passing, couple of touchdowns. You're like, oh, he's all right. Next week's 45. You're like, oh, this guy stinks. Next week, 46. Oh, yeah, he stinks. Next week, 244. Oh, he's back. And then last week, 54. I don't think I've ever seen that kind of volatility.
Yeah, he's bad, John. I've been saying it for a few. Even his best year in Chicago, I never really was a believer. Yeah, it's tough. The Patriots defense been a little bit worse against the run lately. Last 3 games, 4.4 average allowed. That's really the only thing going here. Maybe for Breece Hall, some explosive runs, giving up 7 explosive runs in the last 3 weeks. So maybe Breece hits a big one. But other than that,
the only thing I don't Fields obviously. He's struggled as a passer his entire career. The only thing I don't understand is why they don't use him more in the design run game. That's kind of why I liked him for fantasy this year. Is
of course,
knew that he would struggle as a passer, but they don't really run him that much either. It's kind of bizarre. They kind of did to start the year, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Brett, to you, I'm not watching every play. So I do go back and watch certain games, usually on Wednesday night. I watched 3 or 4 last night, but I thought, just watching it, bits and pieces of it, that may have been Drake May's best game. I might be talking through my, but I thought he made a couple throws. I was truly wow throws. And any thoughts there?
Yeah. He had some throws in that game were insane. I think overall, though, I don't think he played that great. What did he?
Okay.
He took a really bad sack, and then I think
Right.
it was his worst game from a completion percentage standpoint, which isn't all his fault necessarily, but
Right.
there were some drops. But overall, I think he was like 52% completions on the day. So it was a good day though. Some of the big time throws and the big time moments were awesome. So
Right. That's maybe a little flashier.
Yeah, he's a baller. I mean, he definitely has that. So
He's got it. No, there's no doubt about it. I like Diggs here in this one. I mean, there's not a bad schematic matchup for Diggs. Matt Collins, he's not bad, man. I mean, this guy makes plays. I mean, at the end of the day, he's got like 15 touchdowns. He's on 5 different teams, 500 years. But Graham, any interest here? I can't do Henry. I just can't do it. Yeah. They play a decent amount of man as well. Will do the Jets.
Yeah, I've been out on Henry as well. Love your Diggs call. I think this is Trevion Henderson week though.
Yeah,
Terrell Jennings is going to miss this game. It's just going to be all Trevion Henderson, and breakout game last week, and they're just huge favorites here. I mean, it's 13-point spread, so this should be heavy Trevion Henderson in this spot.
Real quick on Trevion, and then we'll move on because I know a lot of people are probably going to be hearing this after the game is played, but which puts us in a rough spot, by the way. No. Did you see anything from Trevion? Are they, keeping them in training wheel mode in terms of like short yardage, the type of runs? Do you see, obviously the numbers look great, but is there anything else growth-wise that you're seeing here, Brett?
No, I thought the full playbook was available to him. He was in on the goal line packages. He had one run that was a bad read on his part, and then he had another one that should have been a walk-in touchdown, but there was a defensive hold missed on the call. Other than that, though, he looks really good. The explosiveness is there. I'd like to see him force some more missed tackles and be a little bit more physical with his running style. But gosh, if you actually split out Trevion Henderson or the Patriots run game with Henderson on the field and off, they're like historically bad with him off the field. Literally dead last in the NFL in rushing EPA. With Trevion on the field, they're 10th in the NFL in rushing EPA. So I mean, that's a massive swing we're talking about. So hopefully that game last week was the catalyst to get this role solidified, even when Ramondre comes back.
Yeah, which we'll see if that's this week, by the way. I mean, he is limited, but that doesn't mean he's going to play in this day and age. Let's move on to the game over in Madrid, the DC Commandos. I'm going back. I'm calling them the Commandos again. I know that the owner is no longer there, but they are a dumpster fire, I think. Up against the Dolphins, Well, let me start with Miami because, Brett, to you, Tua against, I don't know if they're still playing a ton of man with Lattimore down, but I think so.
Yeah.
Tua, that's good schematic there. Good matchup for Waddle. Of course, we don't really care about anybody else, but Waddle and HN. But you would agree on Tua with Waddle here, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Washington in general they're probably the worst team in the league at the moment. The way they're playing. The last 3 games they're giving up like 0.7 EPA per dropback, which is like
brutal,
historically bad. 23 explosive plays against them in the pass game the last 3 weeks as well. So I mean they're just getting hemorrhaged, and Miami's actually kind of playing decent football right now.
They are.
A little surprising. They turned it around on defense a little bit too, actually.
I mean, they're stopping the run. They're pretty tough with the throw on the outside. It's kind of amazing. Graham, start Devon Achane, right? That's it. I do like Debo and Ertz a little bit more than usual based on this matchup where they won't see, I guess, as much man. But anything pop for you in this game?
Yeah, Achane, obviously, amazing play. You guys touched on Waddle. I just wanted to say real quick, this is an amazing matchup for him. Commanders giving up the most passing fantasy points per drop back. I'm not writing up Tua as a streamer this week. I was kind of tempted to write him up as a streamer. I think there's a few better plays, but it's just an amazing matchup for him. On Washington side, I don't think Debo's healthy. Since that heel injury, he has just like really struggled in terms of his explosiveness. I mean, obviously Washington desperately needs him without McLaurin. I like your Ertz call, though. I mean, Miami's just been getting shredded against tight ends all season. Ertz really hasn't done a whole lot with Mariota under center, but I'm with you. I like him a little more than usual this week, too.
I think I'm in prop brain with that because I actually...
He's a decent play.
No. Yeah, I'm talking about Debo because I played under 4.5 catches last week with Debo, which was close, but he only got to 4. So I'm thinking last week I went under 4.5. I might go over 4.5 on this one. But if the prop is like 55 yards, I don't know if I trust him to get 55 yards. Do you trust? I guess this backfield is a complete wasteland, right, in DC?
Yeah, I don't trust it. Yeah, Miami has been playing a little bit better run defense as of late. And then, yeah, it's just like Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. He had his nice little moment in the sun, but, they've been kind of cutting his snaps back. He really has struggled to, create explosive plays. I mean, we got Chris Rodriguez playing ahead of you. It's not great. Krosky-Merritt down at 43% of the snaps. That was a 6-week low for him last week. So, yeah, I'm pretty much avoiding this backfield if I can.
Carolina, Atlanta, boy, this is going to be a quick little live stream here because there's a lot of teams where we can count the number of interesting players on one hand and still have 3-4 fingers left over. It's that bad. But like the Carolina Panthers, I see Rico Dowdle was at a practice on Wednesday. We record this on Wednesday night so people know. So that's obviously a big story. Brett, Tet McMillan, we chopped it up today with our guy Ryan Heath. He likes Tet in this matchup, but I guess we can't love Tet with the quarterback here. And they're kind of devolving offensively as well. Like, can I get any contribution from a secondary guy not named Tet McMillan?
It starts with the quarterback. Bryce Young has over 200 passing yards in one game this season, guys.
Yeah.
Wow. It's brutal. I mean, and he's got several like 120s and a 150.
Yeah,
it's like 1985 again for them. It's crazy. Yeah. So I think on paper Tet's got a great matchup, but like, are the Panthers going to be able to exploit it? I'm not sure. I'm not too comfortable in that. So I've got Tet on a bunch of teams. He's not starting for me. So
not for nothing, but I was around in 1985. Dan Marino threw 44 touchdown passes that year. So let's go back to 1945.
Okay, there we go.
That was just to set the record straight. Anything for you on Rico, Graham?
Yeah, it seems minor. He played last week with a quad injury. They're probably just taking it easy on him. He's their entire offense, like we just, you guys were just discussing. I mean, it's really just the Dowdle show. Man,
he dominated Hubbard last week in everything.
Yeah, I mean, he's straight up a better player. I mean, Chuba's always, in my opinion, been a little bit of a jag, just kind of like, he can do everything all right, but he's not really good at any one thing. Dowdle is a better pass catcher. He's obviously more explosive in the run game. As we've seen a few times this year, Atlanta, they can be run on. Brett, you've been saying this all year. Their front seven's a little small. Obviously, great pass rush, but they're undersized up front. Carolina's just they're going to just try and run all over them. We'll see if that happens. Saints did a good job against Dowdle in their run game last week, just because Bryce Young is so limited. Falcons are going to stack the box. They play a ton of one high coverage. So I'm actually, I know this is not like an exciting fantasy game, but I'm excited to watch this game just because I think Atlanta's defense, in terms of how they line up, in terms of their scheme and how much one high they play, this is a pretty interesting matchup just in terms of how they're going to stuff the box against Dowdle.
Man, they were flying all over the place last week though. Of course, Johnny Taylor ripped them, but man, the defense gave Danny Dimes some problems here. Drake London, I mean, again, this is like Tet, like there's the only game in town. Kyle Pitts kind of underwhelmed last week. Brett, there were some better runs by Bijan last week. I thought I did take the under on his total rushing receiving yards, which did hit, but I was getting a little nervous there. He had a little bit more success running it. Did you see anything there? Any improvement?
Still very reliant on big plays,
Right.
Panthers, though, they've kind of regressed. They're back to being their usual self, not good against the run. So last 3 weeks, 5.25 yards per carry against, 48.3% success rate allowed. So you can run on them. So I expect Bijan to have a pretty good day.
Yeah, well, and we're all starting Drake London, and we're sleeping like a baby, so I don't think we need how about Penix? Do you see anything positive here out of Penix? No?
He's bad. Okay. And in fact, in this game with J.C. Horn possibly, I know we're not projecting a shadow. I think there's a chance you get one. That's a little scary for me. I don't trust Penix's balls placement with a corner like J.C. Horn, potentially on London. Either way, London should see him about half his routes.
So. Oh, no doubt. In fact, it's funny you mentioned that because that was week 4 or 3. And I was at that time scared to death of JC Horn in September because I thought I saw a couple pop. I'm like, damn, he's back.
Yeah.
And I took the under on Drake London's prop. It was 5.5. And I'm like, I turn on the game. They're losing by just like 25 to nothing. Throwing out every down.
Yep.
Still hit the prop though. He only got 5 for 50 because they bailed. They basically just gave up. Well, on that note, let's give up on that game. And Tampa at Buffalo should be a lot of interesting nuggets to chew on. Brett, I'll go to you. How did Baker look last week? It looked like he kind of returned to form. It looked like he was in a little bit of a rough patch there, but he looked like the Baker of old, the September Baker last week, unless I missed something.
No, he looked pretty good for sure. I think one thing that's really notable, though, without Bucky Irving and Mike Evans in the lineup, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the 30th best passing offense in the league. So it's been rough without those guys in the lineup. You might get Bucky back this week. Anyone seen any progress on that?
He did work today.
Yeah, he was at their walkthrough, but apparently he still can't take contact. So
yeah,
the shoulder injury is a lot worse than was reported.
So I think he's kind of the key for them against Buffalo, who's been dreadful against the run. They're giving up like explosive plays every other snap, it seems like.
Yeah.
If you can't run on them, I think they will struggle to establish a passing game against Buffalo. Buffalo's really well coached in the secondary. I know they've had struggles at times this year, but it usually is in conjunction with when they have to defend the run and come up and play an extra guy in the box.
I may be the biggest Rachaad White apologist, but I must say it's amazing how little he's done in the passing game this year. I think that might be one thing with the coordinator that's a drop off because, other than a couple of plays to Bucky where he lined up at outside that made a couple downfield plays, like the check downs to Rachaad and others are just not working this year.
Yeah, I think some of this is O-line related because he is having to stay in and pass block more.
Yeah, he is.
And yeah, he's got well over 40 pass block snaps this year, which is not really how he's been in the past. So
yeah, but his yard per catch average is down like 2 yards from his career average.
Their design screen game is not as near as good without Cohen. It's
go.
They run a lot of the same concepts, but it's not been as near as explosive. And Rachaad White is always he's never really been an explosive player. He does not have a single explosive run, I think, in any of his last 6 or 7 games. So
yeah, he's not it as an RB1, that's for sure.
Yeah, if we don't get Bucky this week, and Rachaad White last week split carries with Sean Tucker, I think it was 10-9. I actually kind of like Sean Tucker as like a deep sleeper flex.
I
in
agree.
This game.
I agree.
Like you just said, Brett, Bills can be run on. I think Tampa tries to run it, and Tucker's kind of been the better back over the last couple of weeks, especially in terms of generating explosives. So that was my lean in this game here.
Does Ibuka look any better to you, Brett, on film? Because he was playing a little hurt for the bye, kind of slowed down, but he looked pretty dangerous on that touchdown last week.
Yeah, he's the things he does well, he's really good at. So anything that invites contact, he's going to be good at. So whether that's a dig over the middle or a contested fade into the end zone, a post route, like he's really good at all that stuff. So I think he's fine. Yeah, I think he's fine.
Graham, you were rolling with the Ottoman Empire for the nickname of Kate Otten, but I'm going to change it. I'm just going to call him the Fantasy Ottoman. When you need support, when your receiving core is decimated, when you need someone to lean on, you call the Fantasy Ottoman, right?
I love it. Yeah, if you need a guaranteed 12 PPR points, call the Ottoman. I love it. Yeah, I mean, he's been super steady, and he, last week had his best game of the year. It's a neutral matchup. Bills are pretty good against tight ends, but yeah, he's going to get his 5-6 catches in this spot. He's been, if you're in FFPC leagues and you picked him up like 5 or 6 weeks ago, he's just been like an auto start. I got him in a couple spots in like my last flex spot.
Well, there was that period last year. They had to pull out the ottoman. They had to go get it from the attic, and they leaned on the ottoman for about 6 weeks, and they were like, "Bye bye, ottoman. We're good. We don't need you anymore." Really, not totally that, but close. Tez Johnson, dude continues to make plays. Not the greatest matchup though. And then for Buffalo, Brett, we just said it last week. We're like, of course, your co-host, Mr. Bills, he's been saying it since last year. And I said it. I'm like, well, it's pretty clear James Cook's their identity. And James Cook didn't have a good day, and they lost. So where did we go from here with this passing attack? By the way, with likely without Dalton Kincaid. I mean, I definitely think Dawson Knox is worth a look, but I guess we don't go anywhere. I mean, we're not going to Mecole Hardman, right? I mean, this is go ahead.
I think Josh Palmer returning to the lineup is actually big for them. He's probably their best every down receiver. He is. So I think that's a big help. And then Gabe Davis, I know we laugh at it.
Oh, yeah, he's back.
He's back, and he does the Keon Coleman role better than Keon Coleman. I hate to say it, but he does.
Right.
So, these are positives. Also, he obviously has a rapport with Josh where I just don't think Keon and Josh are on the same page at all. So, I think all those are favorable things. Obviously, you wish Kincaid was here. Tampa Bay, though, they've been slipping against the run all year. I know they started hot, but like their last 3 games, 5.66 yards per carry allowed. That's bad.
Okay, all right.
So sorry, New England. Travion had those big explosive runs against Tampa Bay last week. So
right,
I think Cook, they can kind of replicate what they were doing there. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's every game, though. They come out and basically run Cook. And this would be probably a little bit more important that they do, because if not, then they may lose. And then, Shakir is the only, he's solid, third receiver, PPR, all that. Moving on to the next game, which is the oh boy, Chargers at the Jags. Graham, you're the resident Jaguar person. We just go to you often out of laziness, just because. But I mean, do you see anything here positive? I do not with this matchup, because Trevor's probably going to struggle seeing things here. I mean, Parker Washington again, but that's about all I have.
Yeah, Lawrence looks like the same guy he's looked like for 3 years now. There's been no progression. I will say the offensive line was really bad last week. Neil Hunter just kind of took that game over. Chargers don't have that level of pass rush, but they've been very stingy in the secondary, giving up the second fewest passing fantasy points per dropback. Only Denver has allowed fewer. I'm with you. I really don't like anybody in this matchup. Parker Washington is the one guy I did want to note. Chargers have been awesome against perimeter receivers, really just locking down their perimeter, but they've been like neutral against slot receivers. So if there's one kind of matchup related angle into this game for the Jags, it probably would be Parker Washington. You're just playing Travis Etienne as like a low-end RB2 every single week, praying he scores. He's just, completely outplayed Bashal Tutin to this point. But, I think we'll see some more Jacoby Myers this week. Brett, I wanted to ask you, what you've thought of Trevor Lawrence for the last, month or so, because I don't think I've asked you since maybe September.
I've been calling him a pumpkin on my show.
The fantasy pumpkin.
The thing is, you mentioned the offensive line. That's definitely letting him down. Also, tons of drop passes over the course of the season in general. So, he got sacked, 5 times? I think a couple he probably should have got rid of the ball a little faster. The thing that makes me a little nervous about this game is, 1, the Chargers disguise coverage at a pretty high rate, and 2, I know their pressure rate doesn't scare you, but you look at their time to pressure, it's like the 3rd fastest in the league. So they get home fast when they win. And I think that's when you see Trevor start to make mistakes. Yeah. He already kind of plays a little too fast as it is. He gets hit a couple times early in this game because of quick pressure. I think it really will change his confidence and in his willingness to kind of run this offense. So I'm a little nervous for this one for Trevor.
Is Brian Thomas Jr., if he's active, just no? Is that just a no?
He's going to probably project like a low-end wide receiver too. I don't have a lot of confidence in it, that's for sure. I mean, I think he's going to play. He was back at practice. They also got Brenton Strange back, so maybe there's, this is potentially the best weaponry that Lawrence has had. But, Yeah, I mean this offense. Walker Little is not an NFL left tackle. That dude is not good.
Man, that guy's been around forever.
Yeah.
Graham, to your point, by the way, you said the Chargers are stingy in the secondary. Like they don't blitz. They blitz 20%. They're dropping 7-8 in coverage on every play.
Yeah, your point on how they disguise coverages just like clicked to my brain to like pretty much completely avoid, I think, Jags this week outside of Parker Washington and maybe a little BTJ because Lawrence can't read defenses.
Right, and we'll see. We'll see about Strange too. Like just because they open up the window doesn't mean he's going to play this week. For the Chargers, I don't feel phenomenal about their offense, Brett. I mean, certainly way better than Jacksonville. You know, the protection issues here. I'm not seeing anything that really stands out other than our guy Ladd, who is definitely coming on. I guess Gadsden avoids serious injury. You know, it's tough. They kind of fragment the production here with 3 receivers who are steadily involved and the tight end and all that. But how is Herbert looking last week or the last couple of weeks to you?
Protection breakdowns are real. You know, he's even trying to get the ball out quick and he's getting hit. I mean, it's, you know, you worry about injury long term, obviously. But yeah, I mean, in a matchup like this, I don't know. You know, Graham, how do you feel about the Jags pass rush? Like,
it's terrible.
Yeah,
our front four is arguably the worst front four in the NFL right now in terms of pressure rate, getting sacks. I mean, Trayvon Walker has really struggled. Josh Allen has been like a no-show all year. He's been really bad this year.
Didn't he get a new deal recently?
Yeah, and I mean,
damn.
You know, the Trayvon Walker pick was a bad one. I think every process-wise, just taking him over Aiden Hutchinson was a brutal process pick. But I mean, Josh Allen has been brutal this year. I thought Eric Armstead played okay in the run game last week, but I mean, this line is not good. So I'm with you. Like long term, I've kind of bumped Justin Herbert down a little bit in the rest of the season rankings because I'm with you on their pass protection. But this week is like wheels up spot. Like this pass rush stinks. They're gonna have to blitz a ton to get the pressure.
Right. Looks like a good schematic for Keenan Allen here. He's kind of been, though, the low man on the totem pole there, losing out some snaps now.
Yeah, it's the Oronde Gadsden show. He's back at practice too. This is like a completely minor injury. He has a quad injury. He just bruised his quad. Apparently, there's no
dude had an MRI. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea, but he was back at practice today. Harbaugh said he's going to be good to go. They have a bye coming up, so maybe they take it easy on him. But I don't. He's a rookie and he's clearly healthy. My one matchup angle in this game is actually going to be Quentin Johnston. Obviously, Ladd McConkey has been awesome. He's like wide receiver 6 over his last 6 games. You know, he's been the guy in the pass game, but this is a spot for Quentin Johnston. Jags secondary has been getting roasted on the outside all year, giving up the 3rd most yards per game. So I do like Johnston a little more than usual this week.
The Jags have also been ramping up their situational man coverage, a lot of 3rd down man stuff.
That's great.
Quentin Johnston's been Herbert's go-to against man. I know Ladd's numbers look good against man, but Johnston's most of his targets come against man. So
they also looks like give up the 2nd most fantasy points per game as schedule adjusted to receivers on the left side. And he's a left receiver, right, Johnston?
They move him.
Yeah, they move him.
They move all the receivers.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you got to pigeonhole him somewhere, it would be left, right?
Yeah. He definitely plays there more for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the side that Greg Newsome and Tyson Campbell have been playing on. So
right, Greg Newsome. So maybe Quentin Johnston. Okay, I do also see, by the way, that they've been god awful against tight ends lately, using the schedule adjusted. How about this one? Plus 13.7.
Yeah. I do think some of that was Devin Lloyd missed like a month, and he came back last week, and Dalton Schultz still had a pretty good game, but that's just because the Texans really don't have a secondary receiver right now.
Yeah. Let's move on to the Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. Well, got to get into it here. Now, first and foremost, with J.J. McCarthy, Justin Jefferson does him no favors this year. He dropped a 20-yard touchdown last week. But clearly, Brett, it's worrisome. But again, I'm really trying my best here because on one hand, I have been a guy who said if a guy's going to be good, you can tell early. But sometimes, he's not good early, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to be good. I think McCarthy needs to do better on the deep ball, throwing it with accuracy or whatever. He needs to do a little bit better throwing on the run. What do you see here out of this offense? Because it just seems like the energy's been sucked out of the room, quite frankly. As I observe these guys, the body language, they don't seem to believe in where they're at right now.
This is going to blow your mind. I thought McCarthy played awesome on Sunday.
Really?
Throw for throw. I know, everyone's going to cite catchable ball rate and things like that to me, but you break down every snap and what it entailed and watch it within the context of the game. He was awesome, especially to start that game. He started that game with 2 deep out throws, one to Jefferson, one to Addison. Hit Jalen Naylor with the go ball down the sideline that was freaking on the money.
That was a great one.
In crunch time, his team just let him down, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson, like the first pick JJ threw that Joe Dolan called an arm punt. JJ stopped, or Jettas stopped running when that ball was in the air and still had a chance to go up and make a play and just watch the guy catch it. And then he had the drop in the end zone. I don't know. I feel bad for JJ. I think the thing you're seeing is a guy who's taking coaching very literally. Rewind to his first 2 starts.
Yeah.
What was it? What was going on? He was playing everything too fast. The game looked really fast for him. So he was snap to check down, snap to check down. Now he's doing the literal opposite. And in fact, he's leading the NFL in average depth of target, where I think Kevin O'Connell's been trying to hit it. Like, bro, go through your progressions, find the read downfield.
Oh, and he's doing that, man. He's getting to the 3rd, 4th of progression.
Exactly. So it's almost too literal. We need to see a blend now of the 2 approaches. But the arm talent looks special. I mean, he had a couple throws in that game, John, where I know you're talking about Drake May being, but like JJ put the ball out on some islands where I was just like, holy crap, that is a throw.
You know what else is going on? He's leaning on Naylor because freaking Naylor's not letting him down like JJ. I hate to say it, but that's why he's throwing to Naylor, because Naylor is actually catching the ball, unlike the other guys.
For sure. And I think I said 4 or 5 weeks ago, I think Jordan Addison might be a better player than Justin Jefferson is right now. I think that's probably true, man. I think it's probably true.
Jesus. I feel a little bit better about JJ, but no doubt he does need to do a little bit better on deep balls and throwing on the run, right?
Yeah, well, I look at the deep ball incompletions, though. You had Jefferson give up on one. You had Jefferson fall down on one. Then you had Jefferson drop one. Right. The only other one he threw was to Naylor, and it was a dime, and Naylor caught it. I mean, I don't know.
It's like the Vikings are spoiled, entitled brats who are unhappy that they're breaking in a young quarterback. Well, as I said today, too bad, guys. We don't, if you're a fan of the team, guys like Justin Jefferson, I hate to say it, come and go. Maybe not that good, but we also had Randy Moss. Didn't win shit with him either. Okay. But that all said, sorry about that. But I think that bodes pretty well for this matchup against the Bears. Second time around. I mean, they're not maybe as man heavy as you'd like to see here, but they're beatable, Brett. I think this is a pretty good spot.
The Chicago Bears have given up 24 explosive passes against them in the last 3 games. That's a league high. And JJ is being very aggressive. This offense is aggressive. It's heavy play action, shot friendly offense. I think you're going to see a lot of production this week against the Bears. Their secondary's in shambles. I don't know, Jalen Johnson obviously being out, but even guys like Jaquan Brisker have just completely fallen off. I don't know what's going on here. So, I like the matchup. Yeah.
Not bad for Hawkinson. Can we get a complete effort here out of the team? Can we I saw that the center, Ryan Kelly, they opened up his window there. Graham, do you think Aaron Jones is completely taken over this backfield, by the way?
Yeah, that was my angle into this game. I actually really like Aaron Jones this week. The Vikings made a commitment to him last week, 72% of the snaps. That was easily a season high. This backfield was kind of trending towards Jones anyway in terms of expected fantasy points, just because he plays so much in the passing down, in the passing game, and getting so much usage there. But now he's kind of taken over in terms of the early down role as well. And Chicago has been a defense that we've been wanting to pick on against the run all year. We've sat here and talked about the kind of struggles with this offense. Maybe McCarthy's been a little slow to pick things up. You look at the team total here for the Vikings. I mean, they're getting 25.8 points this week. at home, 3-point favorites. Like the markets are telling us that this Vikings offense is going to move the ball this week.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how, my confidence level in McCarthy as a quarterback, one streamer in fantasy is kind of low right now.
Yeah.
But the touchdowns have to go somewhere. I mean, this team is the 5th best team total on the week. So I'm into Aaron Jones this week. That, he's this is the best he's looked all season in terms of his projection. He's lost a step. He's clearly not the same explosive guy, but Jordan Mason has struggled all throughout October and into November.
Brett, real quick, not to spend too much time on it, but I know what they were trying to do with Mason and with Aaron Jones, because if no team invested more in the offensive line than the Vikings this year. If they would have been able to open the year with all their starters, you have Mason and Jones bring a different look here. You know what I mean? Like it's a diversified look. You could hit him with this guy and hit him with that. Chuck it to Hawkinson. Go deep to Addison. They have not had anything close to a complete offensive performance. Is that fair?
For sure, and a lot of it is early. Like the early down running hasn't been good enough.
Exactly.
And so they're having trouble sustaining drives, which is going to lower the play count. I think their play count in JJ's last 2 starts is 63. Not great. That's like middle of the pack. So.
Putting them in a tough spot.
Yeah, putting them in a tough spot, and also less carries to go around, where I do think they wanted a 2-headed monster, but they basically have to focus one guy right now.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, by the way, the Bear defense has been much better against the run. Have you noticed that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think first part of the season they were up in like the 5-5 territory. They're down 4.16 yards per carry allowed the last 3 games. So
yeah,
trending in the right direction for sure.
So I don't know about, maybe that could be a schematic thing. I remember they handled Derrick Henry. They've been kind of lights out here. How about Caleb though? I'm sick of it, man. I don't know, man. It's the same old crap every single week, right, Brett?
I hate talking about it. I talk about it so much on my show.
Every week.
They're the most fraudulent 6-3 team I think I've ever seen. Caleb, back-to-back weeks now, he's had a game-winning play. So I'll give him credit for that. The throw to Loveland in week 9 and then that scramble in week 10 to move the chains and get that first down and set up the field goal. I mean, that fantastic stuff from Caleb. So not going to take anything away from him. But from the start of the game to the end of the fourth quarter, it's just still not impressive. I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. Graham, they don't have enough to hang the hat on. Like, that's why I think they should get Luther Burden, just put him out there. I know Zacchaeus has been I guess, but find some staples here. Like Adunze is good, but I don't know if he's a great one. Like, they don't have any staple in their offense.
Yeah, it's been Colston Loveland as of late, although last week the route share did dip. He and Cole Kmet annoyingly kind of split snaps, but he's been trending up. That's kind of been my guy for, this role. Is like, you're right, they don't have a secondary receiver. DJ Moore was completely blanked last week. But yeah, I mean, Loveland, I still think long term that's probably their guy.
Right. I agree.
Rest of season, probably their guy.
Yeah.
I'm with Brett, though. I mean, this Bears team, you look at their wins, right? Like, they beat Dallas without CeeDee Lamb. He got hurt on, the first play of the game. They beat the Raiders, Commanders, and Saints. They lost to the Ravens without Lamar. And then they beat the Bengals and the Giants. I mean, they've not really beaten a quality opponent besides maybe Dallas this year. So,
their next 4 games are tough. So
yeah, I was just about to say we're about to find
yeah.
out a lot about this team. I mean, they get the Eagles. And
sell Caleb, sell.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going. I wanted to talk real quickly before we move on about this backfield. DeAndre Swift ended up getting the much bigger role last week, which kind of surprised me. Ben Johnson came out before the game and said, we're going to run with the hot hand. And I thought maybe that might be Monungai, but nah, it was DeAndre Swift. Right, real quick, who do you think leads them in carries the rest of season? Because I've tilted it back towards Swift, but I could be sold either way.
If Swift is healthy, I think it's going to be Swift.
Okay. All right.
Anytime a team also wins more games than they're supposed to, I think Ben's going to go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he's going to transition less from a developmental approach as a coach to, hey, we're actually in the fight. They're a playoff team right now.
Yep.
They're going to go for it. So,
yeah.
And to me, that means Swift's also so much better in the pass game. I know Monungai's had some splash plays there, but just trusting him in pass pro and things of that nature, it really does matter to a guy like Ben. So I think we'll go Swift.
Let's go next to the Green Bay Packers at the New York Giants. And Brett, I'll go to you on Jordan Love. This is so frustrating. One of the biggest mistakes I make is when I see young players show signs of potential, show the tools, do some great things in spots in their first or second year. I just presume that they're going to get better, at their job. Like I got better at my job in year 30 at my job. Okay, yeah. That's very rare, but it's not happening with Jordan Love. I think maybe the play calling stinks is part of the problem, but at the end of the day, he's just yet another one of these quarterbacks who can't work through the zone, right? I mean, he just doesn't see it and process it well enough, I don't think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he definitely has some warts as far as who he is as a passer. I think actually Chris Wecht and I were just plotting everyone's EPA per dropback against their time to throw. And when Jordan Love is diligent and getting the ball out quickly, he's phenomenal. I mean, he's legitimately one of the best QBs in the league. It's just that he wants to put the hero cape on, and it comes with diminishing returns, man. It takes a lot of sacks. You start to see the goofy turnovers, inaccurate throws when he's not throwing from a good base. It's really frustrating to watch. I mean, this team's supposed to have a great offense. They have games of 10, 13, and 7 points on the season.
You think they miss Jaden Reed as that volume underneath kind of move the sticks kind of a guy?
For sure. And this is also where I start to point some blame at Matt LaFleur. It's like,
right,
you're rotating 5-6 receivers every week. You're not getting Love into a rhythm with his guys. And Josh Jacobs might be the worst thing to happen to this franchise in 10 years because it's convinced Matt LaFleur
right,
conservative.
Just grind it.
Run game that's not that good, guys. This run game is really not that good. Maybe in crunch time when you're trying to salt the clock away, Jacobs is the kind of back you want. But man, it's really tough to watch this offense.
It's like you try and make these big splash plays, and then you hand it off to Josh Jacobs for 3.6 yards a carry 2 times in a row.
They want to be the Seahawks, where they have this explosive play action downfield passing game, and then everything else is a run to Josh Jacobs.
Wow. Well, I thought Watson. I think he looks great.
Looks great.
Yeah.
Play him every freaking snap too, Matt. Please.
Oh, I know. Graham, I had my Monday night special was Watson hits 80 yards at like plus 370. He had it. He had the walk-off touchdown. Brett, did you see that? Was that a walk-off touchdown?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Unbelievable, man.
Well, he could have had 2. He had the walk-off touchdown at the end of the game, and he had the he was trying to defend a pick against Quinyon Mitchell with the ball hit him in the helmet. I mean, if he had just turned his head around, he could have had it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he just went defensive player on that play, and I was okay with it. He
committed to that a little early.
Okay.
He's like, that ball's in trouble. I'm just going to be defensive player. Then I think at the end of it, he realized, well, shit, I could have caught it.
He said, I'm 6'4", and I can jump like I'm freaking 7'3".
Well, that's lack of reps.
We were saying this last week, though. I was concerned last week about this offense without Tucker Kraft, and I'm even more convinced. He is just like a massive multiplier for this offense in terms of his versatility as a blocker. Obviously, he's a great blocker in their run game, but they can do a lot of disguise stuff with him as a blocker in their pass game too. Just kind of get these short little dumping off throws where, like Brett was saying, if when Love is on time and within rhythm, he's awesome. But the second reaction stuff has not been great, and then he doesn't have a second reaction guy to dump off to Tucker Kraft anymore. So it's scary hours for this passing offense. I really don't have a whole lot to like in this game, in this spot for the Packers, unfortunately.
Well, I like Watson.
Yeah, I mean, Watson, and I hate to say it, everybody, this guy's like a fantasy football pariah. Dontavian Wicks is going to have to play more this week. Matthew Golden's hurt. Romeo Dobbs is going to try and practice, but he's hurt as well. He's got a chest injury.
Well, they're messing up my guy, Bo Melton. I was going to text his father about it. And I'm like,
they had to play him last week.
I'm not even going to bother him. Bo had a bad drop, but then he caught a couple balls. But he's playing DB. He's back and forth and this and that.
He was Travis Hunter before Travis Hunter.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. But Brett, this is the matchup, though. This is the Jordan Love matchup.
This is what I was going to ask you guys. Is there any chance LaFleur is just so pissed about 10, 7, and 13 points that he just tries to drop a nuke on the Giants this week?
No. He would have, but he had to run to get his 8th haircut of the month. So he was a little preoccupied with his grooming.
Oh my God, that's epic. The man always has a fresh cut. You got to give him that. That's
You
for
do.
sure. That's
You do.
hilarious. I that was my only angle for love here, but then I looked into it. It's like Tucker Kraft's averaging like 4 yards per route run against man. It's like that was their guy. You know, it's
Right.
you take that guy out of this offense. It's tough.
That's why it's got to be Watson. I mean,
I'm with you.
it's elementary. It's got to be Watson. And for the Giants, little JMO, this is a nightmarish matchup for Jameis Winston, Graham. Like the Packers are going to ask him to dink and dunk down the field, and he's going to be chucking it. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
what do you
luck.
see?
Yeah, good luck. I think this is a classic Jameis Winston game. He probably throws for like 280 and two touchdowns, but he also has like 3 or 4 turnovers. This pass rush is awesome. I don't know if the Giants have the receiver talent to like really beat their corners. You know, we've been saying all year, Brett, you've been saying this, like, you know, the Packers corners have been just kind of all year, but Slayton maybe gets the deep play here. I think that's like my one angle in this game is if, you know, Jameis super aggressive, hyper aggressive downfield, it'll be Slayton. I like a little Theo Johnson as well. I'm going to write him up as a streamer, John. I know he's like an anti-Gurite.
He's an absolute anti-Gurite. This guy's wearing a Tin Man uniform out there.
This is a good matchup. Packers, if they have one weakness, it's against tight ends. And, you know, Jameis, he's the volume merchant, man. I mean, this team is going to run a ton of plays. Packers have been, you know, a little susceptible against tight ends at times this season.
Not for nothing, but Brett, that Javon Bullard dude is erasing people inside.
Yeah, they have a bunch of these guys. Bullard, McKinney, Evan Williams, Keshawn Nixon, the linebacker that they drafted last year. I can't remember his name because I'm bad with names, but yeah, a lot of these really good interior middle players. That's why attacking them outside the numbers is the way to do it. They don't have a guy that can do that. Maybe I probably playing Darius Slayton over longest reception prop, whatever it is. But
right. Yeah. I played a Slayton prop last week that did win. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. This is a rematch. Brett, do you think the Steelers will continue to actually try and play defense, unlike the first matchup?
Yeah, and listen, they got their run defense figured out, right? They're last 3 games down around 3.5 yards a carry. Huge improvement. And then the pass defense still up and down, you know, giving up a ton of explosives. It's weird because the explosive plays are there, but everything else is kind of they've been good. You know, they have great defensive line and they're good against short stuff. It's just like, you know, they're giving up like 3 or 4 game-changing type plays a game, and that's what the Bengals do. So I don't know. I feel decent about it. But
Chase Brown thoughts, Graham?
Volume will be there. Samaje Perine is dealing with a high ankle injury. He's probably going to miss this week and maybe a few more. Brown has been trending up just because Flacco has been trending up and kind of carrying this pass offense. Yeah, I mean he's a really good volume-based RB2. He could get nearly every snap in this spot. I mean they've not played Boyd at all. Yeah, Steelers have to take their lumps from the last game. I mean, Jamar Chase came out after that game and was like, we knew exactly what they were going to run. They're going to run a lot of cover 1 and cover 3. I was going to ask you, Brett, how do the Steelers kind of change it up here? Do they play a little more too high? What do you see in this spot? Because I love Flacco for fantasy this week. He's been awesome for fantasy.
I'm wondering if they try a Joey Porter Jr. shadow on Chase. They've done it in the past when they need to. So obviously with Slay this year, they haven't really needed to shadow Porter, but they did it all last year. Slay's out, right? He's going to miss his game.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And Porter, by the numbers, is by far their stingiest corner.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's been awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a top 5 or 6 corner in the league for sure.
So, okay. How about the Steeler offense? Brett, is it just too basic to say Arthur Smith is a leather helmet era coach and they don't have a running game that's good enough to run this offense? I mean, it kind of seems like that. Like they should be a run-based offense, but they don't really have great running backs. So you're left with the table scraps that normally it's enough to get by if you're running the ball 33 times, but they're not. So we're just thrown to the table scraps. I mean, am I on the right track there? That's just as an observation.
No, I think it's a good observation. I actually kind of like the scheme and the way it's designed. I just don't think they have the horses to do it.
Yeah.
The O-line's not good enough to have a dominating run game. They don't have the backs to have a dominating run game,
Right.
which is what leads to all that play action stuff. You wanted to get in short yardage, then run 12 and 13 personnel, take shots downfield. There's no shots to be had in this offense. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
DK doesn't look the same. Calvin Austin, though, is like he's leading them in target share since he's been back from injury, right? So that's something to watch. Roman Wilson seems to be coming on, but I don't know. Cincinnati was really bad against tight ends to start the season. They've been better lately. So
I looked into Jonnu and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's somebody's going to do something. It'll probably be Freiermuth, but hard to say. Yeah. So does the presence of Roman Wilson because normally it's like early in the year, I kind of like Calvin Austin a couple of games. Of course, he didn't do crap, but now it's like I can't even like Calvin Austin because Roman Wilson is there doing stuff.
I mean, there's room for playmakers in this offense.
Right. Yeah, that's true because sure in the hell not DK.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, gosh, what DK? Do you have 7 targets? Okay. Yeah, him and Austin both. Austin caught 2 of 7 targets in that last game. It's crazy. Yeah, I think Wilson, he's a field stretcher. I think he should, in theory, give this offense more space to work. I think that's good for everybody. And he's not commanding a ton of volume. So I think Austin's probably still the guy, if you're asking me. But, yeah.
All right. Yeah, DK, man. Bad luck. I don't know where we go from here on one DK Metcalf. Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans. This will be quick. Looks like it's Davis Mills. Brett, straight up, Davis Mills, if you have Nico Collins, do you downgrade Nico Collins for Davis Mills, or is it an upgrade? I think that's a viable question. Or is it just, it's the same?
It's the same. I mean,
right.
I'm not saying Mills is better or as good as Stroud. I definitely think they're probably closer than people want to guess.
Right.
But yeah, I like Nico a ton in this. I mean, this matchup is great. It's also a have to win game for Texans. I know we're looking at a 1-8 Titans team thinking they'll roll them. They actually do need to like go out and play. And I actually like Jaden Higgins too. He, 7 targets last week with Mills. He looks awesome. And he's getting a lot of these condensed route.
He does look good
with Nico Collins. They're doing a ton of like 7-man protections.
He's got great body language, man. Higgins. Yeah. He really does. You can tell he's out there like, give me that damn ball. It's mine.
Yeah, it reminds me of Nico Collins. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But they've been doing a ton of 7-8-man protections because the O-line's so bad. And it's Higgins, Collins, and then a check down in a lot of these route concepts. And these guys are going to get targets, man. So I've been enjoying watching this.
I mean, freaking Dalton Schultz, Graham, is actually pretty good.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's always been pretty good against zone.
Yeah.
He gets open against zone, finds the soft spot. Mills just runs the offense. I think Stroud has kind of been the same guy, holds the ball a little too long. Obviously, their offensive line is the worst in the NFL. It's not going to change, but you hold the ball too long, you're not really helping out your offensive line either. Good news is Titans don't really have much of a pass rush here, so even if it's Stroud, if it's Mills, I mean, it's an awesome spot. I also want to note Woody Marks, for the second time this year, overtook Nick Chubb last week. We'll see if it sticks. My confidence level is not super, super high that the Texans coaching staff sticks with Marks, but this is a good spot. Titans not good against the pass, very bad against the run. I haven't looked to see if Jeffrey Simmons will be back this week. That would be huge for them. He's their only good defensive lineman.
I think he's on IR.
Yeah. I don't think they put him on IR yet. He popped a hammy. Yeah, so he might be back this week. Even if he's back, it's still a good matchup for this run game. Texans are pretty big favorites here on the road. I think 7-point favorites against the Titans.
Oh my God! Who's on the Tennessee practice squad? I once interviewed him, Trevor Siemian.
Oh,
wow!
Did not know he was still in the league. That's crazy.
I interviewed him at the Super Bowl one year after he got done. That year in Denver where he actually played, like no one expected him to play. And he come up and I'm like, look at you playing in the NFL. He's like, yeah, who knew? Anyways, well, I don't think we need to do anything on the Titans, do we? I mean, this is horrific. I mean, it's so bad. Let's move on to the Niners at the Cardinals. Graham, do you think there's a chance that Brock Purdy plays this week? Have you seen anything? I think there is.
Shanahan said he has a chance, but this is an injury that's going to be bothering him all year. Just, man, it sucks. I mean, it's like lost year kind of for Purdy. We'll see. Obviously, the big note in this game is Marvin Harrison had to have an appendectomy. I was pretty excited to actually talk about Jacoby. I was like excited to talk about Jacoby Brissett for fantasy. I mean, he's been awesome.
Yep.
And no Bosa. The secondary has sucked for the last 5 weeks.
Yeah.
This is going to be Trey McBride getting 15, 16 targets. But Niners side, I mean, Mac Jones, he's just run the offense well. I think Purdy gives them more of a ceiling for sure in terms of his play extension. But there's really not been a huge drop-off, obviously, in play from Mac Jones to Purdy. And we saw that last week. Kittle had a great game. Juwan Jennings was solid once again.
Yep.
On paper, Brett, Niners are very good. Like, this defense is just in shambles. Like, I think on paper, this looks like a pretty good spot for Mac, right? Like,
yeah. Cardinals pass defense has been real bad the last 3 games. They're also getting nuked to out wide receivers. So whoever's playing, I don't even know who's playing out wide for the 49ers this week.
They might get Pearsall back.
Might get
That would be
Pearsall.
huge. Okay. That would be huge. Like,
Pearsall,
I would immediately write him up as like a really good wide receiver 3.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know they've put Jennings out there too when they've had to. So
yeah, Pearsall. That was my angle in this game. I hope he can play because they play a lot of cover 4. You can throw it over the top. Like, I like that.
I was going to be really into Marvin. I listed him as a player to trade for this week ahead of this matchup.
Brutal.
Quite frankly,
just brutal.
Yeah,
Brissett's not only playing well, John. He's also, it's like they convert way more first downs. They're way better on third. They're just way more efficient. So there's more plays, more play volume, and it's just brutal for Harrison.
It makes you reevaluate Jacoby Brissett too. Like, what the hell? Like, I thought he was just kind of, a backup on the back 9, just sit around, hold a clipboard, but he's out there balling. It's a little crazy. How about Trey Benson?
I have not seen anything on that. He hurt his meniscus. They said that there was a chance he could return to practice within the last couple of weeks, but I have not seen anything since then. So I'm assuming this is the worst of the 2 meniscus injuries, and they're just trying to hope he gets back at some point this year. But this backfield last week, Bam Knight has had the slightly better role, but Amari DeMercado's looked better. This is a true hot hand type situation. It sucks because the matchup is good. Like, I'd love to pick one of these backs, but
just like the Giants.
I have no idea.
It's like the Giants. It's like the Giants.
Yeah.
Like, just when we thought Tyron Tracy was out, no, he's back. But then this week, the fantasy cockroach will get the ball, Devin Singletary. Let's move on to, we don't have much else here to do, Seattle at LA. And Brad, a lot has been made of the heavy personnel here by the Rams. Sean McVay he brought 11 11 personnel was born. I know it was not born, but it seemed like he gave birth to 11 personnel. Now he's killing it with the 13 personnel. But, these 2 teams are kind of mirror images of one another.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the good teams in the NFL are kind of doing this right now. It's not just them. I know they get all the headlines, but yeah, it's really effective game planning and scheme and getting mismatch opportunities. I mean, it's been awesome for both these teams. We're seeing the best Matthew Stafford we've ever seen. So
it's almost like the Rams planned this out. Like let's get Parkinson, let's draft Ferguson, let's keep Higbee. All of a sudden, I got like 3 good tight ends.
4. I mean, Davis Allen's out there catching passes. You got
100%.
So yeah, they're 4 deep at tight end, and it's all kind of just a slightly above average players, but they can all do their job, and they all are interchangeable, and it's fun. So
that Ferguson looks pretty good, man.
Oh yeah, he's a legit route runner, very explosive player.
Yeah.
So
and Graham do you worry is the wrong word, but do you knock down your expectation a little bit for Puka based on how they're playing now?
Slightly. I think I bumped Puka down in the rest of season rankings to like wide receiver 4. He was our wide receiver 1 for pretty much the entire year, wide receiver 2 until Chase and JSN really started catching fire a little, but not much. It's because what Brett just said. I mean, Puka's awesome. He's just like a freaking freight train after the catch. But Matthew Stafford, man, I mean, he's the MVP right now, and he's playing better than he was in 2021. Touchdown rate is insanely high. He's at 8%. He's also cut his sack rate way down. He's always never been a quarterback that takes a ton of sacks, but that's especially true this year. Just playing, extremely efficient ball. They don't really have a ton of great matchups for the rest of the season.
No, they don't.
I was looking at this. Like, I've got Stafford in quite a few spots, actually, but I don't know if it really matters. I mean, they've got some shootout games in here. I'm not really concerned at all about Puka, just because, I mean, we've seen the ceiling with him. I mean,
right.
they get a few shootout games here and there. That game against the Lions in week 15 is going to be awesome. I was just looking at it from like a rest of season perspective. I'm not too concerned. I am.
Well, like you said, he could get a 14% drop off in his production and still be the wide receiver 3 overall.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. I'm a little concerned about Kyren Williams, though. He got there with the 2 touchdowns last week, but Corum is continuing to play more. I think Corum looks a little better too. Kyron's been fine. He's been more than fine, but yeah, you take away a little bit of that volume. His snap rate was at a season low last week. Obviously, blowout game script might have had something to do with it, but I've bumped down Kyron just a little bit.
Corum's had 12 plus carries in 3 straight games.
Some of that is just the blowouts they've been in. They've been in some just wonky game scripts. They beat the pants off the Saints. They beat the crap out of the Jags in that London game. But yeah, there's a chance this ends up being a little closer of a split by the end of the season. Corum is like right there with Bashal Tootin is like the best bench stash in fantasy. So much upside if Kyron were to miss time.
I'm going to throw a hot take out. I actually listed Stafford as a play to trade for multiple times, like 7 weeks ago, because I was eyeballing the schedule that he just crushed.
Yeah.
And now it's all tougher matchups against, granted, nothing's that tough for Stafford because he's next level, but a lot of stingy defenses, Brett. Like even this one here, this could be a little struggle bus here against the Seattle D.
Yeah, I think is this the highest total on the slate? 50.5, I think I saw. Or 48.5, something like that. Yeah.
It's right there with Dallas and Vegas.
I could see this going under. Both these defenses are phenomenal. So
yeah. Actually, I think it's only like, isn't it only like 4th highest or something?
It's 48.5. It's tied with there's a couple games at 48.5. The top game is Dallas and Vegas at 50.5.
Which is weird too. Like
that's all Dallas.
Exactly. I mean, it must be 40 points Dallas.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I do think that, I would have to say a little bit of a slowdown is coming here for the Ram offense. So Stafford's only going to throw for like 250/2. So you're just going to have to deal with it. You're not going to get 4 tutties every single week, I would think. Moving on here to the Ravens at the Browns. And Brett, I'll go back to you. The Ravens won. Vikings had opportunities. But Lamar Jackson, man, what was that?
I don't know.
I mean, he does not look good.
Yeah, body language is bad too.
Really bad.
Vibes look really weird. I don't know, man. I'd love to pick Thomas Tipple's brain on this one, but yeah, it's just everything looks kind of sour there right now. So
it really does. It almost was like the Vikings a little bit, like just the air is taken out of the room,
which is crazy because they have a legit chance to run the table here. I mean,
they're the favorites to win the division, by far,
and they should be. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know why they're so pouty. It's kind of weird.
So pouty. Well, I mean, I guess they're just the best antidote is just feed Henry. Just keep feeding them here. I would think that's their only way to fight their way out of this little funk they're in. Just feed the beast and go from there. Take it from there.
I'm with you, but I mean, this has been an awful matchup for any run game. I mean, Henry got shut down with Lamar against the Browns, back in week 2.
Yeah, he did. They got run out a little bit last week, though, didn't they?
I mean, a little by Brees. Brees had a couple explosives. I think that was one of their first games they've given up an explosive run all season. But I mean, they've just been a great run defense. So this is an awesome matchup for Lamar. Obviously, Myles Garrett can take over this game, but the rest of this secondary and front 7 is not that great. I wonder last week too. I mean, Lamar, he didn't run as effectively as he typically does. I wonder if that hamstring was bothering him a little bit. So
that's been 5-6 weeks of this. Even before he got hurt, he wasn't really running that well.
Yeah, true. I mean, he had the one big game against the Bills, and that's kind of it. So that's true.
That was week 1.
Yep, true.
Right. I mean, so I would have to say that we're seeing the residual effects of the beating that he's taken at the end of the day. In one way, shape, or form, it feels right to me. Like these guys running 150 times a season, taking these hits. I mean, it's gonna catch up to you. And maybe this is what we're seeing here with Lamar. Anything different? By the way, Thomas did bring up a good point on the live stream I did with him. He's Mr. Ravens. Quinshon Judkins has been he's like a Stonewall Judkins. Like he's getting stonewalled. And it really started when Flacco left the lineup.
Yeah, he's been under 4 yards a carry, like every game since then, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's with I think he's got a couple 3, 4, 30, 40-yard runs in there too.
Yes, he does. Against Miami, he had a 46-yard touchdown. And he ran for 83 yards on 24 carries.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely not pretty.
No. Speaking of not pretty, any thoughts on the Browns passing game here? Graham, Jerry Jeudy's back. Yeah. I heard Scott Barrett called that. Where the hell did he pull that one from?
Yeah, I think that was just a DFS take because the Jets lost Sauce. They've been terrible in the secondary all year. That was a good call. I can't trust any receiver attached to Dylan Gabriel, man. It is rough watching him. Really rough. He had a couple nice throws. Jeudy had the good run after catch, but man.
By the way, in the Fantasy Points Dynasty League, I forgot to set my lineup, and I had 1 minute before kickoff and lock, and I somehow got and started Dylan Gabriel, and he threw 2 tutties. And he threw for 50 or ran for 50, didn't he, last week?
Yeah.
That was unbelievable. Anyway, no one cares. Let's move on. Kansas City at Denver. Well, what Bo Nix do we get, Brett? That's the question. Do we get the one who looks like a professional quarterback, or do we get the one who needs 19 years in college before he's ready for the NFL?
I'm gonna guess the one we've gotten all season, the bad Bo Nix.
He's had one good game against Dallas. One.
Yeah, I guess I'm skewed by that one because he was balling in that game.
Mm-hmm. But that's Dallas.
That's Dallas.
Historically bad pass defense.
Right.
There.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, Spagnuolo is also coming off a bye. Steve Spagnuolo coming off a bye with an extra week to prepare for, hey, how can I go out of my way to confuse Bo Nix? This is he's in heaven right now. He's probably loving life. So I would imagine they have quite a ferocious game plan for Nix. I don't like anybody in the Broncos offense, to be honest with you, this week. And I know my guy RJ is finally going to get a start, but I'm not trusting it, though.
That's a tough spot. Yeah. It's not the best spot for Rashee Rice. I almost said something negative about Rashee Rice, but then I was like, no, can't do that.
But you get shot collared if you say something negative.
Yeah, exactly. I'll get my dog's collar. Anything on Kansas City, Graham?
Yeah, Rice. I mean, on paper, yeah, sure, it's not the best matchup for it. Just doesn't matter. I mean, the dude just gets 25% of the targets every single week. I'm out on Xavier Worthy though, man. I mean, it's been 6 games the last 2 years where he's basically been a non-factor. Complete non-factor, and I wonder if the shoulder injury that he sustained, third play of the season, has something to do with him. And he's just a tiny guy, and probably he's not going to play super well through injury. But you look at these 6 games he's played with Rice, he's averaging 9 PPR points per game. Kelsey's kind of taking a step back in this offense too. It's the Turbo Rice offense. They're going to just spam this guy as many targets as he can handle and kind of spread things out from there. Obviously, we've got Andy Reid coming out of a bye. He's been historically great getting his teams ready, just crushing in terms of against the spread. Interesting spot here, though. This game goes into Denver because, Denver's pass rush is still awesome. They've got strength on strength there with Mahomes playing so well and their pass rush playing great. But I'm not really discounting anybody on this Chiefs offense except for Rice. And to Brett's point, I'm excited to play RJ Harvey. I've got him in a bunch of teams, and I'm going to be playing him as a flex, but I don't have a lot of confidence either. I mean, the markets don't either. This team total is at 20 points. It's the lowest team total I can remember the Broncos having, basically all year. I think they're at 20 points against the Texans too, and they stunk. So I'm kind of out on this whole Broncos offense, except for except for Harvey and Franklin, I think. I wanted to ask you real quick, Brett, before we move on. Do you think this is now the Franklin offense? Because, I mean, I think he's out-targeted Sutton now in 5 straight games. Sutton's had some tough matchups in that span, but do you think this is like something they've got to revert back to and get Sutton more involved, or do you think like like Franklin is,
They're taking Sutton out. They're trying to take him out.
Sutton's getting a lot of extra attention, a ton, a lot of brackets and just rolled coverages his direction. So when they disguise it, they're disguising it towards Sutton's side, and
Spags is going to have his freaking bag packed.
Oh, dude, I think it's going to be brutal. So,
all right.
But I also think like until Franklin proves he is a legit wide receiver too, that's going to happen to Sutton. So Franklin needs to convince defenses that he has to be accounted for, and that's the bottom line. Also on RJ Harvey, like Sean Payton's going to go out of his way to screw fantasy managers. It's going to be like Jaleel McLaughlin for 10 carries.
Yeah.
Be gross.
For what it's worth, I think Franklin's looked great. He was open multiple times in that game against the Raiders.
Yeah.
And
he drops a lot of passes, though.
He does, but Nix didn't see him. I mean, there's straight like Nix is not seeing it well, and he's not throwing it well. It's not a great combo.
Troy Franklin's just been put on this earth to drive me insane because I've lost 2 props now by like 1 yard each on like games where he had like 9 targets and he only had to hit like 33 yards or some crap. But that's something I have to deal with myself. And I have a DNP list on prop points. Do not play ever again. And Troy Franklin, he landed on there. Well, maybe not ever, just for this year. Brett, back to you real quick. Any thoughts on how KC does, in fact, go to attack Denver? Because, they're not going to have Isaiah Pacheco most likely. They'll try and run Hunt, but somebody is going to have to step up here. Is that Tyquan Thornton maybe making a big play? Kelsey's actually been pretty good against man.
I actually really like Rashee Rice in this matchup.
Okay.
I know you guys kind of gloss over a little bit. Since Surtain has left the lineup, Denver's been way more vulnerable to slot receivers. Their yards per target's up to like 7.5. It was down in the 5s before that. EPA per drop back against is significantly higher as well. So, and I just think Rice is the run game, right? We said that, so I don't know that we need to pay too much attention to the man zone stuff. They're going to find ways to get him the ball underneath. He's going to be Mahomes' go-to guy. So,
understood.
I like Rice quite a bit.
It's the Detroit Lions, your Detroit Lions, Brett, at the Philadelphia Eagles. But I would have to say that this has got to be an A.J. Brown game. If it's not, then they should cut him because, like, what are you doing here? You got a home game against a team that is a legit threat to take away the number 1 seed. They've got to win. It's a beautiful schematic matchup for A.J. Brown. Again, if they don't throw to A.J. Brown in this game, then A.J. Brown's days in Philly are numbered beyond this year, I would imagine.
A.J. Brown said on his Twitch stream last night if you have him in fantasy, to drop him. So
I know
he's not feeling good about his role in the offense right now. Kind of crazy, right? The Lions, by most metrics, have a top 5 defense in the NFL. I don't think anyone really saw that coming, but I know they play a ton of man, but it's like they're really good on early downs, and their coverage has been sticky. Even when they're giving up plays downfield, it's like there's a guy in the hip pocket, right? So they also got DJ Reed back to practice today. They got Marcus Davenport back to practice today. Josh in week 2 of practice return, so they might be getting a lot of Calverley back. It feels like they've been intentional about preparing for this moment.
Yeah,
The Lions been waiting, holding these guys out to make sure they're healthy. And now you might see 3 or 4 players get activated off IR for this game. So,
well, let me give you my hot take then. If the Eagles don't feature A.J. Brown, they're getting their asses kicked.
I tend to agree. The one thing I'll say is Terry and Arnold, if DJ Reed can't go, Arnold's been much better against A.J. Brown type receivers. Not that anyone is good against A.J. Brown, but I think Devontae Smith could potentially tear up the other side, whoever that's going to be. So,
oh well, we never say anything negative about Skinny Batman. But Graham, anything from you in this one? I think I don't know about Barkley in this one. I don't know. I think it's A.J. Brown or Bud. I mean, Skinny Batman will get his, but I I really think they have to get meaningful contributions from A.J. Brown to win this game. But anything else pop out to you?
Yeah, y'all covered it. That was my angle into this game is, Lions play a ton of man. Hurts is leading all quarterbacks in fantasy points per drop back versus man coverage. Now, of course, some of that is his legs and scrambling, but he's been great this season against man, and that's been all A.J. Brown. We were on this last week. Devonta Smith crushing zone. He had a great game against the Packers. Really the only receiver who did anything in that game against in that slugfest of a game. This is a complete opposite spot, though. I'm with you. This has got to be the A.J. Brown spot.
Yep. Or else we're in big trouble. Speaking of big trouble, the Raiders are hosting the Cowboys. Again, highest total on the board, Graham. So that
Market's
means
just giving a lot of confidence in this Cowboys offense, and obviously a lot of confidence in this defense to give up points to the Raiders. That's for sure.
Do you even look at all on maybe they're baking in some Brock Bowers action or Genty?
Yeah, I think it's just Cowboys have been so bad on this is historically one of the worst defenses we've seen. I think Cincinnati might be worse than them right now, maybe Washington, but I mean, Every single week has just been awesome for fantasy, for basically every single opponent Dallas has had this year. Yeah, I think Bowers bounce back for sure has to happen. I mean, he's their entire passing game. I do like Trey Tucker a little bit more than usual in this spot too. Cowboys just giving up so many big plays to outside wide receivers. He's really their only guy left. Deontay Thornton stinks.
I mean, he looks terrible.
He stinks. It's really just Trey Tucker. They play so much 12 personnel. They can move Bowers to basically be a wide receiver in this spot, so he's going to take advantage of this match.
Like last week.
I think I really like Bowers, obviously, and I'm going to write up Tucker as a pretty decent flex this week, I think, in my article.
Anything else here? I do have a feeling that Jake Ferguson is going to kind of slow down here. I think they're going to become a little Pickens, Lamb centric and keep running the ball. But anything else jump out at you here, Brett, before we sign off?
I'm a little concerned with the Cowboys pass defense has been pretty good against tight ends lately. Under 5 yards a target. It's like second in the NFL the last 5 weeks. So I mean they've been holding up pretty decent there. I'm not sure why that is.
Right.
Nothing's popping to me, but I know Bowers is going to get his targets. By the way, I called Bowers having a downer game last week. So
I think some of that's the schedule, Brett. They played the Jets, Panthers, Commanders, Broncos, and then McBride had a great game. McBride had a good game against them. So it's got to be schedule related.
Did Denver play a lot more zone last week?
They bracketed the crap out of Bowers. They doubled him.
Yeah.
They also, as I said on the show last week, they had the personnel to kind of stop Bowers.
Yeah.
Slunga and Greenlaw. So they just committed a lot of resources to him.
Yeah, I got into the trap that he's just going to get 11 targets and probably catch 6. He should have.
He should. I mean,
that was malpractice.
Atrocious.
That's malpractice.
Yeah.
3 targets or 4. Give me a break. All right. On that happy note, we'll wrap this puppy up. Another one in the books. Week 11 edition of Matchup Points here at fantasypoints.com. Obviously, we do plenty more live streams on the YouTube page. Make sure you're liking and subscribing and stay locked in there. All the articles and the like. I've been doing Hanson's Hints every week, and it's been pretty damn good, I got to say. If you look at the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty good. So it's better than the alternative. You worked 36 hours on that article and you got everything wrong. I wouldn't do it after a while if that was the case. So I like getting stuff right. So I am addicted to being right. So I will do the work that needs to be to get that done. So without any further ado, I'll stop rambling. For Graham Barfield and Brett Whitefield, I'm John Hanson. Thanks for listening and subscribing and all that good stuff. Good luck in week 11, and we'll catch you next week.